Good day and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining me as I talk about the upcoming week of June 22nd through June 28th of 2014. Heat and humidity have returned to Houston. The air has been very thick in the mornings, but soon it's going to be perfect for beach and swimming weather, which we have a lot of beach here in Houston, at least close in Galveston. This week's highlight is the sun entering the sign of Cancer, the summer solstice, the first day of summer. We're currently at the midpoint between spring and fall as we enter the first day of Cancer. If you would like to contact me for a personal astrological session, you can always contact me at LillyRoddyShow@AOL.com or LillyRoddyShow.com, or find us on Twitter, Pinterest, or Facebook. And I want to thank the producer, Yvonne, and my editor, Lorene, for the work and effort they contribute to the show. And of course, nothing happens in a vacuum. Just ask me. Let's look at next week's planetary forecast. Sunday, June 15th. Happy Father's Day. This is the morning the moon continues her path through Capricorn, the sign of the micromanager. The moon opposes Jupiter at 1:35 a.m. If you're awake at this time, you're looking for a pleasant place to escape to. The moon does go void, of course, right after this at 1:35 a.m. She will remain so until 12:27 p.m., same day, when the moon enters Aquarius, the sign of foresight. There are no more lunar aspects for the entire day. Although the moon is not void of course, it may still feel like our course today is driven by whatever direction the winds blow us. So take some time and enjoy the afternoon. Monday, June 16th. The moon travels through electrifying Aquarius for the entire day. The moon trines Mars at 10:07 a.m. We're feeling energetic and upbeat this morning. This is a great time to get out and change up your routine a bit. Add your own flair to whatever you're doing today. That will really activate the Mars. The moon sextiles Uranus at 2:25 p.m. This is a good afternoon to be out interacting with others. Group and community activity is always favored under this lunar pass. And finally, the moon squares Saturn 4:54 p.m., one of my most favorable transits. We are putting ourselves under some pressure this late afternoon. It might be best to take a step back and get your priorities aligned. Self-criticism may come easily and often, so be careful. Tuesday, June 17th. The moon resides in socially conscious Aquarius for a little over half the day. The moon squares Venus very early, 1:09 a.m. This is an excellent time to indulge yourself in any physical or emotional activity you may desire. As long as you are satisfied, really that's what's important with this aspect. Mercury, in retrograde motion, re-enters Gemini, going backwards, the sign of the information collector at 5:05 a.m. With Mercury retrograding back into Gemini, the effects of Mercury retrograde will be stronger. Pay attention to details and don't agree to do something unless you've thought it through completely. Mercury will be stationary direct once again on July 7th, but will not be totally free from its retrograde influences until July 7th. So that's when Mercury retrograde really comes to an end, July 7th. The moon trines the sun, 7:12 a.m., another early morning aspect. This aspect makes it easier for us to start our day. We won't be rushed, but we will get there on time. And of course, we're a bit more chatty this morning. In the afternoon, the moon trines Mercury at 1:07 p.m. This is an ideal aspect for any kind of detailed work, rearranging files, or finishing up work that's been sitting around. Communication skills are very good this afternoon, and this will help you with any type of presentation that you might need to do. The moon is now void of course at 1:07 p.m. in Aquarius. She's not void of course very long, as she enters the watery world at Pisces at 1:26 p.m., so just 19 minutes. This is an example of how sometimes the moon void of course period is actually for a very short time frame instead of some of the long time frames we've been experiencing. Short moon void of course periods occur when there are planets in the later degrees. Although the moon is not void of course in Pisces, there are no other planetary connections until tomorrow morning. With the moon in Pisces, you may seek more private time this afternoon and keep working on what's in front of you. Wednesday, June 18th. The moon transits psychically sensitive Pisces for the entire day. Very early in the morning, the moon conjuncts Neptune at 2:05 a.m. We're deep within our own emotional unconscious. A perfect way to access this inner state of being is through our dream and sleep states. With this, we seek our own inner solitude and confidence. A little bit later in the morning, Venus sextiles Jupiter at 4:16 a.m. Excuse me. Since this aspect has been in play for a couple of days, Venus sextiles Jupiter, this has been helping us to improve our various relationships and deal with people in our everyday lives with much more harmony. This aspect can prove very beneficial for looking at your financial position and seeing what you can do to improve it. All of us will want and feel that we need to have greater creature comforts when we experience this planetary combination. Contracts and negotiations also go much easier today. This aspect, Venus sextile Jupiter, is in effect all day. The moon sextiles Pluto at 10:40 a.m. Now, this aspect allows us to be able to confront and deal with difficult circumstances and to keep the drama down to a minimum. We are interested in finding the fundamental cause so that the problem can be fixed for once and for all. In the evening, the moon trines Saturn at 6:46 p.m. We look to make our evening hours as productive as we did our daytime hours. If you have to work late, you will be definitely making some progress. Personally, we're more open to talking about serious things in our lives and how to add some sense of security to our future. Thursday, June 19th. The moon moves through cause-oriented Pisces for about 2/3 of the day. The moon trines Jupiter early in the morning, 6:15 a.m. This will certainly give the morning a much more positive start. Give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going because you won't be in a hurry. You may want to go a lot of places, but you won't get to every one. The moon sextiles Venus at 8:15 a.m., another really nice morning aspect. This is an opportune time for any sort of diplomatic negotiations. This is happening early in the morning. This may be a great time to have a conversation with your romantic partner. And if you're out in the business world, people are just more open and receptive. The moon squares the sun at 1:39 p.m. We're definitely in the mood to look back over the last couple of months. We feel the need to get more organized and more clarity about our real objectives. This is the perfect time to clear away the muck. The moon squares Mercury at 2:06 p.m. This is a very nostalgic time as we reflect not only on our immediate past, but also on our early childhood. We're looking for places of comfort and familiarity today so that we don't have to constantly be challenged by the cutting edge of technology. We will definitely be more chatty with this aspect, but in a more personal sort of way. The moon is now void of course at 2:06 p.m. until 4:26 p.m. when the moon enters competitive Aries. This is another short void of course time frame. The sun conjuncts Mercury at 5:50 p.m. Our theme of looking back with our current Mercury retrograde situation is intensified with this conjunction. This can make us feel a bit unsettled, edgy, and nervous, and we may feel a bit scattered, like we're trying to juggle too many things at the same time. Slow down and take your time. This is the exact midpoint of the Mercury retrograde time frame. Friday, June 20th. The moon occupies Let's Do It Now Aries for the entire day. This evening and this afternoon we will be re-experiencing some of the cardinal cosmic Grand Cross energy that we felt in April. Our emotions will be a bit more on edge throughout the whole day. It is a day to confront things and to take out the trash. The moon squares Pluto 2:40 p.m. Here we go. This afternoon we're taking things very personally. Things just seem to bug us no matter how much we try to step around them. Don't be afraid to dig in and root out the problem. Real drama is possible with this aspect. And avoid people who can't respect your boundaries. A couple of hours later, the moon opposes Mars at 6:25 p.m. This is a pretty edgy transit. Our emotions are right out there for everyone to see and experience. An excellent place to experience this energy would be at the gym, at the yoga class, or going for a run in the park. The place you might not want to be is stuck on the highway driving home from work. If you encounter a confrontation that's really bugging you, take a step back and think through the process of confrontation. If you feel justified, then action is the right response. A couple of hours later, the moon conjuncts Uranus at 8:55 p.m. The theme song for this aspect is I Want to Be Free. We need some intellectual entertainment or diversity so that we don't feel trapped or bored this evening. We may feel very restless and will not want to be in a compromising mood. Keep your options open and your exits available. Saturday, June 21st, happy summer solstice. The moon spends almost the entire day in energetic Aries, but she'll be void of course in the late afternoon and early evening, so get your activities done in the morning. The sun enters the sign of Cancer at 5:51 a.m. This event marks the first day of summer. With the sun moving through Cancer, we are much more emotionally available and more concerned about our overall security. And with Mercury retrograde continuing, it's a fun time to go back and visit family, drag out your old family recipes or photo albums, and just reminisce about the old days during the sun in Cancer for approximately the next 30 days. In the afternoon, the moon squares Jupiter. We have a good feeling about the day, but we do not feel that we need to push or work too hard. This is a favorable time to be shopping or having a leisurely lunch with good friends. In the evening, the moon sextiles Mercury at 5:24 p.m. Our brain and communication skills are merged easily this late afternoon. It's a prime time for communicating, reading, blogging, or just getting your mind in order. Now, the moon is void, of course, in Aries at 5:24 p.m. right after this aspect. And it will be void, of course, until 10:03 p.m. same evening when the moon enters stabilizing Taurus. The void of course period may help us to make our evening more low-key. Well, really, that's the whole week of what's going on with the planets and with you. I want to thank you for joining me this week on my show. Always, please take some time to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you haven't. And I'm always glad to get your questions and comments. Please join us next week as we look at June 22nd through June 28th, 2014. This is the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios right here in Houston, Texas, reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye. See you next week.